Have you ever wanted to stop users from posting toxic comments in your web applications, your blog posts, or something like that? Well, this is your opportunity to use a Gemini API based sentiment analysis component that allows you to do the thing. Users will not be able to post any comments which are toxic. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ahsan. I'm a Google acknowledged expert in Angular. I'm an author of 2 worldwide published books, and I am someone who really wants to make lives simpler for Angular developers and to improve them in their craft. With that said, let's jump into the application. So this is how the application looks like. It's a really simple Angular application. I've just copied from Flowbyte this blog post template. And if I scroll down here, we have a comment box that we need to work with. We don't want users to be able to post a comment that is toxic. And for this, we are going to use a package named NGGC or Code with Ahsan NGGC that I published myself. And the steps are as follows. First of all, we need to install the package and the Google Generative AI JavaScript SDK. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to VS Code where I'm serving my applications from, and I can quickly go here and install the package. Now the next step is actually to provide the configuration for this sentiment analysis. For this, we need to provide it just like this. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to the app.config.ts within my Angular application. And again, this is a fresh Angular application just with the HTML template for the blog post. So here I can essentially paste the config that I copied. So I can go here and say import from Code with Ahsan NGGC, and I can import both NGGC API config injection token, and then we also have a type here. So I'm going to just update that as well. Now, in order for working with Gemini API, which is an AI service from Google, just like ChatGPT, you need to provide your API key. For this, you can go to the aistudio.google.com and click on Get API Key, and then you are on this particular page. You can click Create API Key, and then you can select one of your projects. I'm going to use Multiversity. And once you are done, you have an API key that you can work with. So I'm going to copy this, and obviously I'm going to remove it later on. But now I can go and inside my config, instead of this, I can actually use the API key that I copied. Now that we have this done, we can go back to the documentation and see how we can use the component. So the component's name is Sentiment Analyzer component. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to my app.config.ts or component.ts. And in here, I'm going to add this into the imports, and I can quickly import it just like this. Now that we have the component, I can go to the HTML, and just before this post comment, and you can find it in the file, I'm going to use the sentiment analysis just after the text area. So I'm going to quickly go here, start typing NGGC and sentiment analyzer, and you can see it right here. Now this requires us to provide a text that it can analyze. So we need to be able to provide the value of this text area that the user is inputting to this variable. And that requires a couple of steps. We are going to first use a reactive form, get the value out of the text area, and then provide it to sentiment analyzer. So I'm going to go here, and first I'm going to say reactive forms module. I'm going to import that. Then I'm going to create it using form builder. So I can simply say FB equals inject. And here I'm going to import the reactive form builder. And then I'm going to create the form. So here I can say comment form equals, and here we can say this dot FB dot. And here I want to say group. And then I can go ahead and say something like comment. And here I'm going to provide the initial value and then validators dot required. Now, one thing that you should know is that if I mouse over comment form, the value of the comment is either a string or null. I don't want this. I always want it to be string. So for this, we can use the FB dot non-nullable. And now if you see this, it's always going to be string. Super cool. Now I don't want to analyze the sentiment of the comment box on every keystroke from the user. So I want to have a debounce around it. For this, what I can do here is I can create a signal and I can say something like comment debounce, and I can say to signal. And from here, I can say this dot comment form dot controls dot comment, and here I can say dot value changes. So I'm going to convert this value changes, which is essentially an observable, to a signal. But I can't do it this way. I also have to do a debounce on it. So I can do pipe, and inside here we can use debounce time, and we can give 1 second as the debounce time. Now we have a signal which essentially has the value string, but it also says undefined. That's because this could have an initial value of undefined, or the signal has an initial value of undefined. So for the second argument, we can give an object, and here we can say initial value and give an empty string. Now if you mouse over, you can see it will always be a string. This is what we wanted. So let's save this, and I'm going to go to app-component.html, and here we can say something like comment debounce, and this is a signal, so we use it like this. I need to also put the form on the form element. So here I can go ahead and say something like form group, and here I need to say comment form. Then I need to provide provide the form control name as comment. So as you see, we have comment form and comment. We are picking this from comment form and comment just like this. Now we have the whole setup done. So now if I go to my app and go to the comment box, here I can say this was a great post. And you can see immediately it shows a loader and then it analyzes the sentiment and shows it right here. Now what if I type something like this was the worst post, quit posting? You can see that this was a toxic comment and we can see it also on the console as well. So you can see the sentiment right here, and this is coming from this debug configuration. So if you provide debug false or you don't provide this, then you will not see those console logs. But essentially you can see that we have the sentiment, which is either toxic or positive. The category is always going to be negative or positive. And then we have an emoji that comes from the Gemini API as well. Finally, we also have a rating, which essentially tells how intense the emotion is. If it's positive, how positive it is. For example, have a cup of tea that'll help you feel better. Now you can see that this is positive as well. But if you look at the rating, this is one below the happiness that we had here. So it gives you different results for different sort of sentiments. Now the next thing we wanted to do was to be able to disable this whole button and not allowing anything to be posted that's toxic. So for that, we are going to create something. Now my first thought was to go with signal, and I'm going to do that and then tell you why that's not the right solution here. So I can say something like comment disabled, and this is going to be a signal, but a computed signal. So if I create a computed signal here, what I want to do here is I want to say whenever we have a sentiment that's toxic, then we need to disable it. So here we can say something like return, and now I want to be able to get the sentiment. Now the sentiment is not available in my app. It is part of the sentiment analyzer component and it's within it. So if I control click it, you can see the definition, and inside here, this is the sentiment signal that the sentiment analyzer component uses. So this contains the object that I just showed you on the console. This also has something called loading, and that is true when there's an API call in progress, and it's becoming false when the API result has arrived, or if there's an error, of course. So we need to get access to this sentiment, and since sentiment analyzer component is a child of the app component, we can do it using the view child. So here we can quickly go and say sentiment component, and here we can say something like view child, and here we can give sentiment analyzer component. Now when you mouse over it, you will see that it can be a signal of sentiment analyzer component or undefined. We don't want undefined, we always want this to be there, so we can say required, and now it's always going to be available and not undefined. Now that we have this, we can go down here and say const component equals sentiment, or we can say this dot sentiment analyzer component, and then since it's a signal, I can access it just like this. Now I can say return component dot sentiment. If there is a sentiment for this one, then it should be essentially toxic, and this is not just the sentiment but sentiment dot sentiment. And now we can go to our app component HTML, and here we can say disabled, and here we can say comment disabled, and since it's a signal, we can use it like this. Now I can go to my app and type this, and let's see what happens. Now you can see that since this was found toxic, the button is automatically disabled and I can't really click it. But there's one issue here. If I remove this and if I try to just paste something and click, you can see that this works until we get the sentiment that's negative. So ideally, while the API call is in progress, it shouldn't even allow me to post this, which means that I also have to add another condition, and that would be inside the comment disabled. So I can go here and say if this is the case, or we have comp dot loading set to true, which means that there's an API call in progress. Now you will see that when I paste this comment, it immediately becomes disabled when we see the loading indicator here. So I can remove this, and if I paste this again, you see that it automatically becomes disabled during the loading. But you will still notice there is still some delay. For example, if I remove this, the button is still enabled, but when I paste it, you will notice that for a while this still is enabled. So I can paste it and click it, and now you can see that I was able to click it. How do we stop that, and why is that the case? The reason for that is since this is computed, this can only be executed when one of the signals change, and the signals we have here are the components. So the sentiment component never changes, but the loading signal changes, and this changes after there's change in text. So after 1 second, when the text is passed to the component, then this becomes true, because then the API call starts. So we don't want this 1 second in this situation. That's why I said I don't want a computed here. So what I will change this to is a simple getter. So I can say get comment disabled. I'm going to remove this from here, and then we have a getter. And now that this getter is done, I need to also change this here, but I need one more thing. I want to say when there's a change in the value of the comment and the value exists and there's no sentiment calculated, then disable it as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to also add a condition. I'm going to say if we have this dot form dot controls dot comment dot value, if there is a value and I'm going to move this a bit down, and here I can say component dot sentiment. There's no sentiment calculated so far. If that's the case, then I want to just say, hey, return true, which means that this is going to be disabled. So now we have a situation when the comment has a value and no sentiment calculated, it will be disabled because that means we are about to calculate it. If the loading is true, then it's going to be disabled. And if the sentiment is toxic, then it's going to be disabled as well. So now if I go here and type this, you can see immediately that this gets disabled. So when I remove this, it's okay. But as soon as I paste it, you can see immediately the comment is disabled, and this is what we wanted. So this is perfect. Now the last thing I want to do in this tutorial is a nitpick because I am a front-end developer. I want the UI to be really nice, and you will notice that this comment box jumps because when there's a sentiment analyzed here, it essentially grows, and then when there's nothing, it shrinks. So we don't want this. We always want to have some height here. So we can go to our app component HTML, and here just above or just on the sentiment analyzer, we can give a class saying block and h set to 5, which means it's always going to have that height regardless of there's a sentiment analyzed or not. So if I go here, paste this, you can see that this box doesn't move and it stays in there. Super nice. And one last thing that I want to point out here is this is a component. If you just want to use the Gemini API and not having to render something via this library, then you can go and check out the Gemini service. So if I go to the component and try to look at the library itself. So in the library, we have services, Gemini service, and the Gemini service has a function named analyze, which requires a text and an optional configuration. So when you pass your text to this function, and you can basically inject this Gemini service into your components, call the analyze function, and it will return you the same JavaScript object that we saw on the console, which is being used to render the statement or the sentiment. And with that said, that's pretty much it. I'm going to publish this demo on GitHub as well, and you will be able to just provide your Gemini API key and test it out, or you can just run this locally as well. Now, I just want to put one thing out there. Gemini is an AI service, and just like other AI services, it's going to have some unpredictable outcomes as well. As you saw in the video, sometimes it said toxic, but then sometimes it just said negative for the same exact input. So be careful when you use this, but for the most of the part, I think this is still going to be really helpful, and your core of the application can be enhanced with these AI features. And if you found this video useful, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell icon so you can get notified about more tutorials. And if you really want to get your Angular skills to the top, then you have to get the latest edition of the Angular cookbook, which has been released. It contains a lot of topics including animations, progressive web apps, unit tests, end-to-end tests, and a lot of other cool things like Redux. And if you're interested in more Angular tutorials, probably get started with this particular video, and I'm going to see you in the next one.